Hello again and welcome back to another one, and today we have a couple of topics to cover, from one that shows Dr. Dre caught in the crossfire for pretty much speaking what many believe to be the truth about how Kendrick Lamar versus Drake went down, and we'll be exploring Dre's comments and also the backlash that followed in a moment. And today we also have more that's come from legacy media outlets releasing their Grammys predictions, and as it stands, Eminem's leading the predictions for Rap Album of the Year. But there's a twist that's followed many of these articles when they predict Eminem to win, which we'll get to later. And starting with Dr. Dre, he was recently on the Unusual Suspects podcast with Kenya Barris and Malcolm Gladwell, and they briefly spoke about the battle between Kendrick Lamar and Drake, and Dr. Dre's comments opened a can of worms. Check out a snippet.
Kendrick?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It made me feel, just that whole experience made me feel proud of it.
Yeah, I love that record. I'm going to say this on camera, and I don't want to get negative. You know, my whole shit is about being positive and moving forward and all that shit, but the fact that I heard Drake say something negative about Kendrick's wife and his kids, that made me say, adios. This dope-ass motherfucker, Kendrick Lamar, are you really saying something negative about his wife and kids? That's when I clocked out.
It's crazy. I was thinking, I was having this conversation, I was like, what made him wake up and having the best life? He's Michael Jackson, and say, you know who I want to f with? The one person who can do it.
This motherfucker, Drake, around and stepped on Rosecrans Central.
He did.
That was a big mistake.
Stop to use the bathroom.
That was a big mistake, bro.
At the wrong store.
Now, even those who believe Drake won have gotta admit that Drake hasn't been moving like a winner with those lawsuits that followed after the battle. However, Drake fans weren't having it, as they took to social media to put Dr. Dre on blast, and takes like these blew up. Dr. Dre having the nerve to speak on Not Like Us is truly insane behavior, to which a user added, speaks on the mental illness and lack of self-awareness going on around the dudes that went at Drake. Rocky almost murdered one of his best friends because Rihanna literally talked to him in plain sight. That's the type of dudes we are talking about here. But all Dr. Dre said was that Drake brought up Kendrick's family, and that opened the floodgates like Rock Lee and pushed Kendrick to go overkill on Drake. But regardless of what Dre's done in the past, this is how the battle went down, as far as I know. I mean, Drake literally filed a lawsuit over this battle, and this is not about picking sides, it is what actually happened. And now some Drake fans have fired at Dre with, does this guy not realize that both Drake and Kendrick's disses can be applied towards him? However, we got Drake fans claiming that Kendrick was actually the first to bring family into this. Check it out. Y'all love trying to rewrite history. That little dude jumped out and said some wild-ish first. He was the first one to diss Clown Bum Dude, a cloud chaser, Dr. Dre, a real sick clown, so I ain't trying to hear it. And they kept going. Kendrick was the first to bring up Drake and his son relationship and actually lie. Kendrick was the first to start the whole thing in the first place. Bodyguard like Whitney isn't a lie, but lying about your son being raised is. However, in Dre's corner, we got more. Drake still didn't learn from Pusha T washing him, bringing up people's families, cause you don't have one of your own, is nasty work. Glad he got what he deserved. But what do you guys think? Who was the first to involve family members in the battle? Was it Kendrick or Drake who took it there first? And moving on, the Grammys predictions continue for who is set to win Best Rap Album this year, and we got to hear from Spotify's head of urban music and creative director. Check it out from Rolling Stone. Carl Cherry, Spotify's head of urban music and creative director, says this year's Best Rap Album could come down to what kind of rap Grammy voters listen to. If you like more of the trap variety, you're gonna lean in Future and Metro's direction. He says in an example, for those who are into nostalgia, Eminem's The Death of Slim Shady could fit the bill. The Detroit rapper scored his first nomination since 2019. I wouldn't be surprised if Eminem takes it. Cherry says, this album does feel like the best reception we've seen from an Eminem album in years, and it performed well commercially. For someone who's in his 50s, Eminem is going in a different direction. You've been around for a while, your numbers are supposed to drop. His audience is getting younger. All that said, no rapper is coming into the Grammys hotter than Doechii. Notice how that was added after the quote ends from Spotify's creative director. Now that's Rolling Stone adding their sauce to his take, and they believe Doechii should win and will win, and they are pretty much begging the Grammys voting members about why Doechii should win this one. This segment gives it away. The Grammys should always want to be in on hip-hop's cultural zeitgeist, and that means a Best Rap Album trophy among others for 3-time nominee Doechii. But respectfully, Rolling Stone is no speaker for hip-hop's cultural zeitgeist. More like what the legacy media zeitgeist wants is for Doechii to win. And before we get to the reactions from fans, we also got to hear from Pitchfork. They also want Doechii to win, but they believe Eminem is more likely to win. Check it out. Unfortunately for everyone nominated for Best Rap Album this year, they are up against the reigning champion of the category, Eminem, who's won this exact award 6 times before, the most of any artist, and his lackluster comeback record, the death of Slim Shady, and the seething over M continued. The LP digs its heels into the same mischievous antics that Eminem did when he was half his age, but it feels twice as long and tedious. But tedious to who? Maybe pretentious triggered legacy media journals, but not the fans. Remember, even Spotify's creative director literally said this about the album. This album does feel like the best reception we've seen from an Eminem album in years, and as far as we know, it is only disconnected journals that think the album is bad, which makes you wonder.
Started thinking to myself, man, what did he do to make them that mad?
And in response to Pitchfork being salty about the album likely winning over Doechii's, some users reacted with, "I don't think he will, but I literally just want him to win to piss off the whiny babies of Pitchfork." And some users are asking, why do they hate him so much? Loudly crying emojis. And the reason has always been the same. Every single project he's dropped has got something that's bound to trigger journalists who love to believe that they wield the shield of political correctness. And to this, a user added, every single article that has predicted M to win has just been crapping on him in the process, lol. And it is hilarious to see some fans cave in. I don't really want this album to win because I just know the discourse and it's gonna start. Please don't win.
Soft.
This is the exact reason why most fans would want this to win. It gets the butthurt juices flowing when he wins. And we got some shots fired. Suburban whites hate Eminem, and I had to look up the Pitchfork writers just to make sure.
Shit, I mean, damn.
But over to you guys. Share your thoughts below. Thanks for watching and see you on the next one.